Welcome to another AEW installment of Tag Me In, where the triple threat brain trusts a tag over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lip Dizzle, joined with none other than the less than stealthy unicorn himself. Move aside the thunder, move aside the lightning, because it's Scooter Rosa in the building.
I wish I could have half my face painted, but y'all get the gist. What's up, everybody?
Indeed. And you know who else gets the gist? The ladies of the IWC, because they just don't get the gist. They also get the heartthrob of said community. I'm only, of course, talking about Mr. Jaeger Bombastic. So fantastic. I swear, if AEW treated the ladies the same way on Dynamite that they treated them on Dark, he would keep coming back to praise said women's division on AEW Dynamite. Jaeger Bombastic.
I mean, on the other hand, Thunder Rosa, though.
Thunder Rosa, though.
There's two people in particular that Paul White, a.k.a. or FKA Big Show, really loves when he's commentating on Elevation. One of them being Angelico.
Well, unfortunately, you know how I feel about him.
I mean, he just likes the whole comes out dancing, like follows his own wind. Like right. That's his catchphrase when he's just catching the wind. You know, he's just following his own breeze. Blah blah blah. But the other one, and he just loves saying the name, and I'm gonna try my best to do a little impersonation of it. Thunder Rosa. Like, yeah, got all the attitude, got all the fire. And you know what? Dark and Elevation were in Texas, and man, did she get some pop.
I bet.
Absolutely.
I mean, she does live in San Antonio, so.
She does indeed.
So, good. Also, a 3-hour trip from here, you know.
Hey, hopefully we see her.
Hopefully. But now, of course, with all the AEW news going on, which of course we already know, it's if you don't know, that's a sad thing because it's every fucking where. AEW is at the forefront of all the professional wrestling news. Now, Scoot, do you have anything that people may not know about yet? Or is this pretty much one of those things where they just it is what it is?
It is what it is, but I do pose an interesting question of, do y'all want to discuss this now, or do y'all want to save it for a hot tag? And the question is, well, I ain't say much the question, but this topic is, AEW can't lose sight of its homegrown stars in favor of Punk and Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson.
You know what? I think we can talk about that now because mainly, and I'm glad you brought that up.
So let me preface it with people. If you don't know exactly what this conversation means, we can reference TNA.
Okay.
TNA had a bunch of homegrown talent. Of course, the main one being AJ Styles. Yes. But what started to happen was a lot of ex-WWE people were going to TNA. We're talking about Kurt Angle, Booker T, Kevin Nash, Christian Cage, Rhino, Tyson Tomko, Gail Kim.
Oh man, that's the name I haven't
Mickey
heard in a
James. Who else? There's a lot of people who maybe even had small stints. But what started to happen, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, how can I forget? Mick Foley. But what was happening was Scott Steiner, As I keep talking about, I keep listening to more people. But what was happening was all of these people were coming in and their homegrown talent, like AJ Styles and Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, Motor City Machine Guns, Beer Money, they were all slowly getting pushed down. And that's what kind of tanked Impact or TNA for a while. Many people don't want this to happen with AEW. Is it a chance this could happen in AEW?
Well,
especially with Punk and Danielson coming in.
The short answer is yes, it could happen.
Okay.
But the long answer that I'm going to give is, for me, it's no. And that's mainly because of what AEW is doing and has been doing for a while, because they've been alluding to, extending that olive branch to all these other brands and promotions to because the token phrase with AEW this week was Forbidden Door.
Yes.
The reason why this won't get the same treatment that TNA got back in the day is because not everybody is designated to just one promotion. Everybody's able to branch out and go find success wherever they're able to. And I think that's an amazing thing, especially when you take into account New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you can say Impact all day, and that's cool because they're basically like next door. But with New Japan, with the roster that they have and the amount of titles that they have, there's room for a lot of people within New Japan. So for me, with this situation, and I think Moxley may be the blueprint on all of this because of the way that they built him as AEW champion, as with him having the United States Championship for New Japan, and the way they're still treating him even after losing both titles.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the prime people right now who has not lost steam, and he's lost all his fucking titles, yet he's still very relevant in what he's doing. Like, he's not there's no shortage of competitors or contenders for him in any way, shape, or form. And I think that's going to be the reflection moving forward with AEW, with them bringing in, a guy like Punk, a guy like Bryan Danielson, because of the fact that, again, Bryan Danielson had already stated that he wants to go to New Japan. He wants to have matches there. And I don't see Bryan Danielson being somebody who sticks solely to AEW. I think he'll come in, do a little stuff here and there, and then primarily be in New Japan and then go back and forth.
Yeah.
Punk, I think he may be the one person that actually stays in AEW for a little bit, does some stuff here and there, but I think his primary base will be AEW. So in what capacity that's going to be, I don't know. But I really don't see them, being a factor in pushing anybody else down, because I think with Tony Khan, he's a mark like the rest of us in terms of AEW and professional wrestling. So I think he understands it the same way that we would, being fans and being, consumers of the product. It's not a Vince McMahon situation where it's like, oh, I want what I want, damn everybody else. I want to watch this and enjoy it for myself. I think he's coming at it from a standpoint of, if I was in their shoes, how would I look at this?
Yeah.
And right now, he's giving everybody what they want. Everybody's been trying to get Punk. He got Punk. Everybody's been trying to figure out where Daniel Bryan's going to go. He got Daniel Bryan to come up there. It's as simple as that. And yeah, I think, this is fantastic. And I'm glad that we're getting it at the time that we're getting it. Because again, just like I stated, I was skeptical about Punk going anywhere after a certain point. And now they got me back to being intrigued and prepared for like everything that's about to happen within the next few weeks. So I don't think it's going to affect anybody.
All right, so let me ask you this. What do you say to the people? We kind of touched on it before, but what do you say to the people that AEW is hiring a bunch of ex-WWE guys and that there are too many WWE guys in AEW. What do you say to that?
I gotta say that to a degree, or at least throughout COVID or 2020, they may have been onto something. However, now it's not so much that they're cherry picking, but they are picking the right ex-WWE guys. They're not just bringing in whoever. Like when we saw Mark Henry, we were like, okay, why? Like even if it is for him to be in the back and developing big man talent, it's still like when you make this huge announcement, oh, it's Mark Henry. It's like, or and to a lesser extent, but still like Christian Cage. Again, you're just like initially, why? Now, I can look at these marks or fans and tell them like, just shut up and enjoy the ride right now. Like they know what they're doing as far as who they're picking up and who they're going to be utilizing. Especially with Bryan Danielson, he's going to be. He and Moxley, I feel like, are going to be that ultimate bridge for New Japan. I would love to see Danielson rock that U.S. title for a while. Maybe not to the extent of Jon Moxley's, but and I love how, and we're going to talk about it later, how Moxley even like kind of covers on that. But right now, I got my popcorn bowl and I'm waiting to see what they do. I'm excited for this next 60 days to see what's going to be going on and what develops from it.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so let me ask both of y'all this, and I even give my opinions. What do you think AEW can do to not be the next Impact or WCW in this sense?
I'll say first that they're already on the road to not being the next Impact or WCW, because think about it like this: Impact mainly they only source from like that one brand or from people that left the one brand, WWE. AEW doesn't care. Like, I mean, of course they are getting people from the talent that they've partnered with, but AEW's going beyond just taking ex-WWE guys. They're getting guys like Nick Gage. They took Ethan Page. They took damn it, the name was right on my. Anyways, no, they like for a short while they took Matt Cardona. They're getting guys from every facet of the wrestling industry. They're not just getting one person or X amount of people from one brand. Hi, Loki. Yes. Yeah. Do you have something to say? No? Okay. No. I mean, that was pretty much my point now that he's kind of sidelined me.
I would say personally, the one thing I have to look at it is for all of these people who keeps saying, they're ex-WWE guys or they're ex-this guys, let's just bring it to the world of sports for a second. Just sports in general. If back in the 90s, if LeBron James, if Michael Jordan would have left the Chicago Bulls, none of the other teams would have been like, no, he's a Bulls guy.
Exactly. That's an ex-Bulls guy.
All the other teams would have been ready to kill each other to sign Michael Jordan. If Kobe Bryant in the 2000s would have been like, you know what? I don't want to be a Laker. Nope. He's an ex-Laker. We don't want that guy.
I'll even cross industry it for you. Like nobody, and this was relevant history and recent history. Nobody looked at Tom Brady
exactly.
Thought, oh no, that's an ex-Patriots guy.
That's ex-Patriot. Ugh, no. He has no use for us anywhere. He's an ex-Patriot.
I mean, Coach looked at him.
Went to Tampa, first season in Tampa got a ring.
Yeah, show it all, you mother, because yes, Patriot fan here, Brady fan here. This guy,
we know.
I mean, let's just be fair. Patriots also picked up Cam Newton and went to shit. But anyway,
hey, look, but things happen.
So the thing is that, and if we're really being honest with WCW at times, yes, the product went a little haywire, but WCW mainly went out of business because Turner Broadcasting got bought out by AOL, and AOL was like, we don't want wrestling anymore on our program.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why it was going out of business. So,
and now Turner Broadcasting got wrestling again.
And then to even put it more in perspective, when somebody gets terminated or leave a company, do you expect them not to be a wrestler anymore?
Exactly.
True.
Like, they got to wrestle somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not like, oh, well, hey, the biggest company in the world fired me. I guess I can never wrestle again, guys. Hey, like, time to go do something else.
It's like some of these fans don't realize these wrestlers, have lives and they need to make money.
Yeah. So,
yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, and look, and I don't want them to get anything wrong. I mean, yeah, we've definitely come on here and we said we've had our reservations that we didn't want AEW to become, WCW or TNA 2.0 because of, who they're bringing in. But at the same time, we objectively can look at a situation and say, okay, you know what? I see what they're doing. And I'm going to piggyback off of what you said, Jaeger. And it's the fact that they are bringing in people from different parts of the independent scene as well. Case in point, Nick Gage. Do you think WWE would have brought in Nick Gage? You think TNA or Impact probably wouldn't have brought in Nick Gage because they look at that as, oh, it's some some hole in the wall, in ballrooms and bars and shit like that. We don't do that over here, but to come to for AEW to experiment and say, you know what, we're going to showcase this because you may like professional wrestling, but you don't realize that you may like this over here. And that goes to show, especially with the whole WCW and WWF thing at the time when ECW was on the outskirts and barely anybody knew about that. But of course, like myself, when I was turned on to ECW, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
And started watching, became a fan, but they weren't showcasing it on WWE. They weren't showcasing it on WCW. We happen to see a few stars here and there, but they weren't broadcasting it like AEW is. AEW said, you know what? Hey, we're going to bring Nick Gage in. We'll get to that match later on, but we're going to showcase what he does best. We're not going to put him in the AEW style and make him wrestle this type of match. We're going to give him and showcase him at his best, so that way you can see him at his best, rather than what WWE does. They bring somebody in from the indies because of what they did on the indies and then water them down to do something that they want them to do rather than what they brought them over for. Mm-hmm. Keith Lee, Ricochet, Morrison, so on. Drew fucking McIntyre, who was Drew Galloway at the time, but they let him go and then brought him back after what he did on the indies. So it's just AEW will be perfectly fine with what they're doing because they have their finger on the pulse, just like Triple H does, and they understand what the fans want and what they're willing to show the fans because they're willing to take risk. And I think that's the main thing, is that they're willing to take risk.
At this point, it would have to be the most blatant thing. Granted, what TNA did with AJ Styles was pretty blatant, but it would be blatant for them to start ignoring Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, Hangman, and a few others, because since they're technically the homegrown talent, it'll be Scorpio Sky. It'll be the most blatant act of where we're worrying about the shiny new toys rather than the old toys. the fans are completely with those four gentlemen we said. It'll be pretty blatant for them to just ignore them completely and play with the shiny new toys.
They've done far from ignore them. Let's see. Jungle Boy is the first AEW competitor to get over 50 wins. He's out at 52 as of this week. Darby Allin is constantly on TV.
And he's paired with Sting.
Matt, you know what?
Legendary, iconic Sting. He's paired with
Scorpio Sky. Oh, go ahead.
I was about to bring that up, and I'm glad you said it, Scoot, because if you think about all the guys who are from WWE, Mox, Cody, Sting, Christian Cage, Taz.
Well, I don't want to throw Sting in that because Sting only just had that.
The reason I'm throwing him in there is because of who they brought over, because they brought over other people, and you think about all these guys that's been brought over and who they were paired with. Darby's paired with Sting right now, but he was also paired with Mox previously.
Yep.
The same thing with Hobbs. Hobbs is now paired with Taz, who Ricky Starks is also paired with Taz. Jungle Boy is paired with Christian right now. Jericho, they paired MJF with Jericho out, and as well as Sammy Guevara, Proud and Powerful, well, Jake Hager by proxy. But and now you take all that and you think about who's in the top title picture right now. The main fucking title: Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, The Elite, Dark Order. None of those guys are from WWE. So I mean, outside of Gallows Anderson, but they don't really count. So
the only one that you can say is a WWE guy is Miro, but Miro is killing it.
And he was paired with Kip in the beginning. It's like, they're bringing these guys over, but they haven't forgotten what they're building to with the future, because all their future talent that they're building the foundation of this company on are paired with the guys that have already established themselves in other promotions. So they're not taken away; they're just helping build the future.
Yep. It's funny how people are getting mad about this, but it's like you get to use your phrase, you get the shiny new toy. What do you expect them to do with the shiny new toy once they announce that they have said shiny new toy? You expect them to put them on the shelf or put them on darker elevation for a little bit,
like Vince would do?
Like kill all their momentum from debuting?
I mean,
you expect them to go in a 2-minute loss to Jeff Hardy?
To just say it, even though it's going to come up later, Darby Allin sent a very specific message to one of the shiny new toys, apparently, that are signing with the company. So obviously, I just think honestly, I know what it's coming from. I think what it's coming from with a lot of people personally, it's we're finally getting something different than WWE, and we don't want them to fail because we want something different. So we're going to point out all the things that y'all should not do. And it's like AEW has only been around 3 years?
Yep.
4, whatever.
About 3 if you count all the before Dynamite.
You gotta kind of let it happen. Like you gotta let them. Like I understand we finally have alternatives to WWE. We get that. You gotta let AEW make their mistakes too. They have to themselves have their own growing pains. They themselves have to make mistakes of maybe we shouldn't have signed this person, or maybe this didn't work out the way it thought. They have to do these things. And with all of these sites and journalists and whatever want to point out all the little things AEW does wrong, it's like y'all gonna make them become self-conscious of their own self.
You just I think it's like also polarizingly. These fans that are just used to watching WWE for years, just years of only knowing one brand. And then here comes another brand that starts breaking the mold from what WWE does.
Damn, Megan, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. And not to interrupt you, but here it goes. WWE has been so poorly booked from a traditional wrestling standpoint for so long that there's an entire generation of adult WWE fans who don't understand why it's bad because it's all they know. Don't bother debating them. You are talking right past each other.
Yeah, it's what a news YouTuber, shout out to Kyle Kalinske. It's what you label as TFGs or too far gones.
I like that. TFG.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's like you just said, there's no point in debating them because they are set in their way of accepting the crap they are fed.
But to them, they don't know it's crap.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why they're too far gone. They don't know the shit in front of their face when they've got like a nice delicious sandwich over here.
Yeah. And that makes sense. And you know what? I'm glad that you had sent that to us, Scoot, before.
Yeah.
Because that opened my eyes when I heard it. Because when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? That's absolutely right. And we've sit here and we've sat and we've talked. A lot of people like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? But again, if they don't know any better, we can't really get mad at everybody who follows WWE, and that also makes sense because for so long they were the big dog, which they still technically are the big dog in professional wrestling. Because and even when we were growing up, that was like the place to go. Like if you wanted, like headlining a WrestleMania was like the dream for every professional wrestler at that time. Regardless of where they were, they knew that they wanted to make it to WWE to be on a WrestleMania card. It was almost like a professional wrestler's bucket list, So them being at the forefront,
probably to a lot of them, it still is.
And I would agree that absolutely. Unfortunately, for a lot of us, we have to deal with that because everybody knows that WWE is not everybody, but people in our age range and higher would probably say, yeah, we get it, but because WWE is so bad, it's hard to look at that as like a bucket list item because of how bad they've been for so long. To the point where it's like, why would you even want to go there? Because you're gonna have to deal with a lot of shit before you even get to WrestleMania, and even then, you're still not guaranteed a spot on there because of how poorly booked they are. So, but yeah, man,
WrestleMania used to be a thing that me and my friends would get all excited for. Like as soon as January comes around, Royal Rumble's in the talks, and you're just like, shit, man, who's gonna win Royal Rumble? Like, oh my god, like what are we setting up for WrestleMania? Like what's going on here? And then it slowly becomes more predictable. And then it slowly gets to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm going to watch WrestleMania because that's when the stars actually like go all out and give you those matches that you've been like dying to see. But when you've seen Charlotte versus insert name here for the 15th time prior to their WrestleMania match, it's not as overwhelming as it should be anymore. It's not exciting anymore. And I'll say, I'll just say like my final like WrestleMania match to where I was just truly like excited for and then ultimately let down on was Charlotte versus Asuka. I saw that.
I will say this. I agree with you on that. The only thing that saved it for me, Kofi versus Daniel 2 years ago.
Okay.
If Kofi and Daniel didn't happen 2 years ago, And I would even say Bianca and Sasha, even though we knew Bianca was going to win that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, and see, that's the one thing, you know, to kind of parallel the booking conversation with this. AEW's case, AEW be fine because we don't know where the fuck they go with their booking sometimes.
Yeah.
We sit here and do our predictions, and we genuinely don't be knowing. Like some matches do be clear. Yeah. Some matches are clear. A lot of matches be like for instance, the opening match of Fight for the Fallen. We will discuss that. But AEW will always be okay because they're going to keep doing stuff fresh. When was the last time somebody in WWE told another wrestler, okay, you want to fight me for my title so bad? I got 5 challenges for you. If you can do the 5 challenges, then you can fight me. You know what tends to happen in WWE? Oh, they just won this random triple threat match. I got another title shot.
Or they pin said champion in a tag match. Or they pin said champion in a regular match. Yeah, it's just.
Oh, I didn't tell y'all. WWE started doing their whole championship eliminator type things too.
Yeah, that's what Nikki and Charlotte did, right?
They've been doing it with the women's tag team title stuff too. They've been calling them eliminator matches. So at least they're trying to borrow something from AEW, I guess.
Right.
But AEW be fine. Like, y'all got any last thoughts on that whole them ignoring the talent or potentially ignoring the homegrown talent?
Nah, I mean, I pretty much got out what I needed to get out on that, and I think it's going to stand true throughout the years as well because again, AEW just they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing.
I can agree. Jaeger?
With the exception of certain spots like Jericho going through foam, I guess, or faulty explosives for a barbed wire death match. AEW's on it.
I'm down with it. And look, if that's the one thing we got to complain about on AEW, I'm perfectly fine. Just fix it though. Just fix that shit though, AEW. But with that, yeah, let's get into Fight for the Fallen. Opened up with going back to Forum, members of the Elite starting off AEW, or former members of the Elite starting off AEW. You know, again, like they started off the right way. They made this shit feel like it was a pay-per-view event.
Yes.
You know, especially with the entrances, one with Hangman in the Dark Order, which they announced as Hangman Page in the Dark Order, but on the graphic it said the Dark Order. So they're really playing with their actions and their wording because they're alluding from it, but yet Hangman did come out in Dark Order colors as well.
BTE actually not even spoiled, but minorly gave away because Dark Order snuck in a little promo video of them all hanging out, but they're like, "Hey man, we got a bit." They're talking to Hangman and they're saying, "Hey, we got the big match coming up. We got you something special." And that something special was his gear that he rocked out to the event.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, I love this entrance from them.
That little vignette to kick it off.
Yeah, that vignette was special.
It made them feel like superstars.
Oh yeah.
Once again, if I was a betting man,
that'd be it.
And I kind of have to take back what I said about the Dark Order, like becoming stagnant or stale, because I said if they didn't do anything different, whether it be like bringing Darby Allin in or something to change their dynamic or make them heels, that they were going to end up losing a lot of the fans. And with this Hangman thing, they stuck through it, and now I'm like, you know what? They're going to be fine.
Oh yeah.
So I take back what I said. I was wrong. I was definitely wrong in this situation because they found a way to make them fan favorites and make it stay completely relevant and fresh throughout this whole thing. And I'm glad that it took Kenny and the Elite to make them feel larger in this aspect. And of course, with the Elite, they had their entrance. I'm not mad at it. At first, I giggled about this when it first happened. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, here we go doing this fucking heel shit. And they, of course, they took it there. Here's the thing, and this is why I brought up when we talked about NXT, the idea of entertainment. And they're not making a mockery of, anything, because they did their thing. They look at Dark Order as jokes, so they're treating this shit as a fucking joke. So they're having their fun with it. And that's some heel tactics. And to come out doing relevant shit, call themselves the Elite Squad, or a shout out to the Toon Squad and alluding to Space Jam. But they're specifically doing it for Space Jam 1 because Kenny had the numbers 23, Michael Jordan. So I thought that was a little funny. But
there was a small takeaway from this, or something that took it away from me, is Excalibur calls it out, like, oh, by the way, like Space Jam, a new, like, whatever the hell the new Space Jam is called, he gives a quick promo to that as they're coming to the ring. Like, oh yeah, by the way, in theaters and on HBO now or whatever. So I was just like, was this them like doing a plug for this fucking movie? Like, despite the fact that they came out in OG Space Jam way.
Yeah. I mean, they did do a plug for Godzilla and King Kong, so
that's true.
They definitely did.
Well, hey, fuck it. I guess that's gonna be their thing now.
Truth.
This match. Like, everybody in Dark Order is so fucking talented.
Yes.
Shout out to Stu Grayson, because he to me he was always a standout. Like, even before Johnny Hungy came into the play, Stu Grayson was always a standout in the Dark Order. Like, just the way he held himself, his demeanor, everything. I like his whole aesthetic. Like, even when he's not in his wrestling gear, he had I forgot what kind of fucking jacket that is, but I fucking love it.
Yeah.
But just that whole deal, and the fact that he's not just a one-dimensional, like, technical wrestler. He can high fly, he can just do all that shit, and I like that. I was worried about him for a second, because when he did that corkscrew over the top rope onto everybody, he smacked the back of his head hard as fuck.
Yeah.
So and shout out and just kudos to him for even like rebounding off of that, and then doing the whole thing with Gallows into the crowd, and then them being counted out, which I thought that was a very creative way to get them out of a situation instead of having somebody take another pin. And then you had Johnny Hungy, but you had Johnny Hungy and Hangman as the last two, which I thought that was a well, you had
I want to give the shout out to, was it Stu again, who did that superplex from the turnbuckle with Nick into the crowd? Because, I mean, regardless if you have 8 people catching you two, that's still a hell of a move.
Yeah.
The fan pop from that, the good old holy shits were flying everywhere.
Yeah, because Gallows got conked on the head from that also. but yeah, and then Evil Uno.
It was really 2 things that bothered me, but we was getting towards it when it became the 2-on-3. I just wish Matt would have made. Nick would have made that dunk.
Yeah.
I wish he would have got that dunk off.
But nonetheless, there was a setup for the Meltzer driver, or Indie Taker.
Yeah, the Indie Taker.
Yeah, the Indie Taker on the floor, and Matt was holding. Who was it? Was it Johnny?
Yeah, it was Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt was holding Johnny, and Nick gets up on the rope, and for some reason throws the ball away. Like, they gave him a basketball, they set up a whole hoop and everything, and I thought Nick was about to just like snatch the ball as he's flipping and then do a straight up dunk. And then he just throws the ball away. I don't know if he's doing that as a troll to the fans, like, yeah, you thought. And
I don't know,
but then he goes and proceeds to dunk the imaginary ball.
No, he threw the ball, but Kenny threw it back to him as to go for like alley-oop. But when he grabbed it and slammed it down, it hit the rim and then bounced away.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah, but what he did after that was funny because he went to grab the ball again and then jumped and then slammed it into the hoop.
He
and then said, and he was like, and he went to the camera like, that was supposed to happen right there. That's how it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, this motherfucker here.
And then I love the crowd immediately after. You still missed.
Yeah, right. Still missed. But yeah, and a good shout out to Evil Uno because he got taken out by Kenny, so they still made him look strong by being taken out by the AEW champion. And then of course we get back to the 2-on-3 Young Bucks and Kenny OG Elite against Johnny Hungy and Hangman. And
boy, they had to hit Johnny with all the moves.
They did.
Johnny was hit with everything.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm gonna fast forward to the end of this because of course, Hangman against Bucks and Kenny, they did a lot of things within this whole deal. Like they did the call back to Matt grabbing Hangman's leg just like Hangman grabbed Matt's leg back in that previous tag match that they had. I believe it was against FTR. Yeah, it was with FTR. And them just putting them those little nuggets here and there. And at the end, Kenny puts him up for the one-winged angel. And of course, we've all said that Hangman is going to be the one to kick out of this. And I was gripping my seat like, wait, don't let him kick out now. Like, not this is
not now. During the match.
But the surprising, it would have been surprising on all accounts because even the loss that he took was surprising because I had in my mind, just like we came and talked on here about that he was going to win. They were going to win this match. He was going to get his title shot. And then members of the Dark Order were going to get their tag team title shots. So it was like, damn, he just lost. So what do they do now? Where do they go from here? Because Hangman is still ranked number 1. So he's still owed a championship match regardless. But, how are they going to play this?
According to commentary, they said Hangman just has to fall out of the top 5.
Huh.
So maybe he just keeps on winning and then gets his eventual match again.
So this is the way that they stretch it out until All Out.
Maybe not so much All Out, or it could be All Out if they want to do that within the next 6 weeks. But I'll admit that I was slightly spoiled, or at least it was open to my imagination to be spoiled from watching Elevation and Dark. Because there were 2 specific promos cut. One by Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss saying, excuse me.
He was saying you were wrong.
Yeah, right. No, but one was Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss saying how they're going to start winning up the ranks and coming for the Bucks in their title.
I thought they broke up.
They did, and then Joey Janela said, I'm going to change my ways, this and that, and Sonny, I guess, forgave him, and now they're back at it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then on Dark, Varsity Blondes have been feuding with the Acclaimed because Max Caster's been dropping some fucking heat during his entrance towards one what's her name again?
Julia
Hart. Talking about, one of them was, and that actually made me laugh, was talking about how apparently the Varsity Blondes are actually Eiffel Towering Julia Hart.
Oh my God.
And then the next week they actually came out with a baguette.
Oh my God.
And what was it? Anthony Bowens then was like, hey, we said something offensive about the Varsity Blondes trip to Paris last week. And we just want you to know from the bottom of our hearts that we don't give a shit. But then this week, Varsity Blondes with Dante Martin took on a W from them. And little annoyed that they didn't give Dante Martin any credit because he's the one that secured the victory for them. But they cut the promo anyway, talking about how they're going to be moving up to the top and how they're going to be trying to take on for the tag team titles.
I like this.
In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, wait, if you're talking about fighting the Bucks, but the Bucks are possibly going to be fighting the Dark Order or Stu and Uno. Ah, crap.
See, again, AEW knows what they're doing. Like with their extra shows. I mean, granted, it's like I said before, their women's division suffers on Dynamite, but everything else in the women's division works well on the other shows.
Yes, we know you agree. Stop it.
But of course, Hangman and Dark Order lose, and now the Elite stand on top. And of course they have all they're all draped in gold. So kudos to that. But we go from a highlight starting off to my personal opinion on this. I did not care too much for Ricky Stark's championship celebration.
It was pretty mild.
Yeah,
it wasn't needed.
Now of course I like when Starks got on, the mic, started talking.
Oh yeah,
that was cool. As
He's
far
definitely pulling Young Rock vibes.
Yeah, I got the same vibe from that. I didn't care for the band playing. I didn't care for Brian Cage coming out.
He's from Louisiana, so I understood the band.
Yeah, I understood that too. It wasn't the band didn't hit hard for me, man.
It wasn't so much about Brian Cage coming out; it's just the way he did it. Like, why throw out your music? Why not run in from the fans? Why not do like a number of things instead of just coming out with your music and then laying out a couple of band members?
On top of that, I have an issue with a lot of guys coming out. Like, if they're not wrestling on the show, why are you in wrestling gear?
That's a great question.
Like, it takes me out, because I'm like, last week you had an interview, you were in pretty much regular clothes, you didn't have a match that night. Then you come in here and say, "Hey, I'm a crash this party." So you knew you were gonna crash a party, so you got dressed in your wrestling gear to go to said party. It doesn't compute half the time, and I just don't understand why a lot of people do that.
I think it was more so to debut his new entrance and ring gear.
He should have did that in a match with Starks.
Thank you. Thank you.
But this didn't hit hard for me at all. I didn't care too much for it. Again, I'm glad Starks has a championship. I'm glad they're doing something with the FTW title. But with this, this wasn't it. I'm glad they gave a shout out to Hobbs, saying he wasn't there, But yeah, oh no, that was the thing. I think that's the only interesting thing that they said was that Hobbs was out recruiting. That's the one thing that stood out for me in this. Because now I'm like, okay, so Team Taz is still trying to expand or rather replace, what they lost. So,
or what they got rid of. That's what Taz always says whenever he's on commentary for Dark. He's like, Team Taz, we're always recruiting.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got the same 4 guys for like a year now. Well, now it's down to 3. So I don't, you never really see any active recruiting. So I was glad that they touched up on that as well.
Yeah. Well, we go from that to a nice little promo from friend of the show, Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and she also had some interesting things to say. One, she addressed the fact that she continues to get hurt, but she also addressed the fact that she beat Nyla Rose. She made Nyla Rose tap with a broken wrist. Little Kurt Angle vibes, one with a broken freaking neck, one with a broken freaking wrist. And she also alluded to maybe her having a new acquisition to the DMD family, because she stated that, with everything going on, with everybody gunning for her, Reba can't do all the protecting because, she's hurt. So maybe
legitimately now.
Yeah, absolutely. So now maybe she needs to outsource and get some muscle, so to speak. So now it's a question of, is she going to do that? And if so, who that could possibly be? So that's interesting. I look forward to seeing how that's going to unfold. I know that she's probably going to end up being on TV more so now in promos like she did when she hurt her knee.
Oh, she's got Pittsburgh coming up. I mean,
she does.
Pittsburgh coming up.
Pittsburgh, yes. Yeah, I don't. When is that?
I think that's before the Houston show, or immediately after.
In a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I don't see her being well by that time. So I guess she just may have one hell of a promo or just showing. I know she probably wanted to wrestle on that show, but
maybe a little. I mean, she can. Yeah, she'll definitely show up. There's no way she won't be there.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, they've been pushing that for weeks with the whole Pittsburgh thing.
Oh
so
yeah.
They definitely they got to do something.
It's also the same week as Rampage's debut. Oh yeah, so that's August 11th and 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the week before the Houston show.
That'll be interesting.
Which, hey, they finally announced the Houston show this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody's been waiting for, since before. Well, I think, it was like early last year when it was supposed to happen.
It was supposed to be April of last year.
Then they pushed it to November because they didn't think they thought everything may have been cleared up, and then they just completely indefinitely postponed it.
Then it was supposed to be June, and then they pushed it to August.
Yeah, just crazy. But it's okay. They're coming here now.
Which, by the way, if you already have your physical tickets and they say April or whenever, just show them to the door and they will let you in.
There you go. Simple as that. And you got that tidbit from old Jaeger over here.
Yeah.
You should thank him.
Because I'm going to be there.
That's right. But of course, going from Ricky Starks and Team Taz to, of course, a highlight from Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. We get a double-edged sword of a tag match because, damn, this tag match was good, and it got taken away from us abruptly.
Yeah.
And it's funny how fate and the universe works, because it's like, we know you want this tag match. and we're gonna give it to you.
Glitched.
But
until I saw everybody else was like, they took it away from us too. So I was like, okay, so I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, no, they I was all about I was glued to this match because I'm just like I knew I wanted this match because of the build to it. But once we got it, I was like, I didn't realize what I was getting when I got this match. And we like AEW has been sitting on some fucking like gold nuggets because Proud and Powerful has been there the entire time, and I just feel like they haven't even shown what they're capable of in AEW.
Oh no!
And with this match, it's just like the fuck, man. Like I feel like I've been disserviced since the inception of the Inner Circle because I felt like we should have gotten a shitload more from Sammy Guevara. I felt like we should have got a shitload more from Santana and Ortiz, and I felt like Jericho was like, nah, I'm gonna just pepper a little here and there. We're not gonna give you everything. We're gonna give you just a little bit. But at the same time, I feel that because of what happened with COVID and everything, and with the fans being gone, I think Jericho was like, I'm not gonna waste y'all on no attendance. I'm going to wait for fans to get in attendance, and then we're going to recap and then do everything we're supposed to do when they get there. And I feel like that's what happened here because like Proud and Powerful should have definitely been tag team champs by now.
Yeah.
And with the way this match was fucking going, I don't even well, I guess FTR was supposed to win. I don't think that they should have. I think that Proud and Powerful should have came with the W, so that way they can go after the Bucks and then take those titles, or they may just end up. No, wait, I forgot what I said last week because I know I said one iteration of them going from here and then taking the titles, and then probably I think I said they were going to win and then go for the titles and have FTR beat them for the titles.
Yeah.
But what happened with Cash?
He I guess he cut himself because after the match, because when Dax had pinned Ortiz off a brainbuster, I was like, the fuck, that didn't make any sense. Then the camera cut to Cash down with the with at ringside with a lot of blood around him, and then him holding his arm. So and then they had a report saying that he got some weird laceration. They didn't say from what though. Okay. But they did say it was pretty bad. So who the fuck knows? I just know that I felt like we were robbed though. Robbed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm happy and I'm mad at the same time. But I'm more happy because we got a taste of something that is going to be fucking amazing when it happens again. And I just give me more of FTR in the fucking ring as a tag team. Like just keep getting me that. And more Proud and Powerful. More Proud and Powerful all day. And more Santana promos.
Yes.
Period.
Definitely.
But yeah, FTR go over shortly, shorter than expected, because I'm pretty sure they probably had another 10 minutes of this match to go, and I would have loved it. But we go from there, and then we get a very blatant tease for Punk, because not only did they announce that the second airing of Rampage was going to be in Chicago, but then Darby had a nice little promo, and it's funny how he had brought it up, saying how AEW was a place to showcase if whether you're going to be great or not. But then he also the little tidbit, the blatant just, hey, guess what? This motherfucker is signed. If you didn't already know, said, yeah, even if you claim that you're the best in the world.
So, with that being said, do y'all really think Shane McMahon's gonna show up?
Oh no!
I'm just saying.
That's a good one.
I swear to God, if I hear "Here comes the money,"
so
I swear to God, if I hear "Here comes the money" instead of "It's clobbering time."
What I need see. I'm glad because I need Excalibur. Once Cult of Personality hits, I need Excalibur to say, "Well, here comes the money."
Oh.
I just need him to say that.
That would be nice.
Because that'll be a nice little just at WWE for that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was more to the point of what we were talking about earlier, where they're bringing Punk and Danielson in, and they're putting them in positions like they're already setting them up before they even show up. And with Punk and Darby, I wouldn't have expected that to be. I would have expected more Malachi Black and Darby Allin just because you see them within the same realm. But Punk and Darby Allin, you wouldn't expect it. But it's a fresh matchup that potentially they're giving you, if that's where they're going. But yeah, if that's the case, I'm all for it. I guess they're not going to address the fact that Darby seemed like he was mad at Sting when Sting was doing the shit with Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. If Ollie Davis doesn't want to say it, I'll say it for him, because he's playing coy with it and he's trying not to say it, but I'll say it right now. CM Punk to AEW confirmed.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wrestle Talk.
Question is where he shows up. Is he going to be on that Rampage in Chicago? Is he going to be at All Out? Is he going to be at Dynamite in Chicago? Like they've got a few spots that they can.
I think he's going to show up at that Rampage since it's the second one.
And then they made such a huge announcement for it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they want to continue to get eyes on the product. So I mean, that's a money way to do it.
Yeah.
You want ratings on a Friday? There you go.
Friday.
So I don't know what time it's going to air, because I mean, Tony Khan said he did after, so it's still he's still pulling that shit. Okay,
I think so. Yeah.
If
9 to 10 ratings, for the 1 hour show.
Yeah.
So if you want ratings from 9 to 10 on a fucking Friday night, CM Punk is going to do it for you, or the idea of CM Punk being there is going to do it for you.
Truth.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Wait. When is fuck? Wait. What other shows in Chicago? Is it All Out?
All Out is sold out. Dynamite is doing a show. I'm not sure if it's before or after.
When is All Out?
September 6th or something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
September 5th. Yeah.
Damn.
No, it's soon, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that Rampage show is in the middle of August, so it's not going to be that close to All Out.
That's what I'm saying. Is Punk gonna debut a couple weeks before All Out, or is he gonna?
That's a stretch, unless
he could throw up like a graphic and be like, "See you at All Out" or something, and then the actual return might be at All Out.
Yeah, because they can do something to if they're gonna, I guess if they want him to have a match at All Out, then they might use Rampage to get him there and then build on a feud up to All Out. But
that could be a thing.
This is why I like this shit.
This is why I'm thinking Darby versus Punk at All Out.
Okay. Yeah, either way, I'm all for it. it's guaranteed at this point. Punk is signed. Danielson is signed. It's just a waiting game now to see how the fuck they're gonna book this shit and where they actually debut, both on screen and in the ring.
Well, I'm definitely thinking Danielson shows up for that New York show, especially because the way they keep plugging it on the crawl, they say, "Do not miss this historic event."
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so I haven't been paying attention to the crawl. So yeah, if they're saying it like that, then wait. See, and that's where they get me, because they say historic. I don't know if it's because of the fact that it's I think their first stadium show.
Yeah.
Or if it's because of the fact that, Danielson's going to be there. So
why not both?
Why not both? Why not both? Fire off the first shot, AEW. But from there, well, in the midst of all that, we had a situation where Cody was backstage and they went to ask him a question about, everything going on, and then he got attacked by Malachi Black.
Oh, go ahead. Just finish this one up.
No,
I just thought about another promo, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Malachi Black attacked Cody, and they kind of brawled out to the ramp, and that's kind of where that ended, because it got broken up after a murder fucking happened. I don't forget who's the masked guy that they had out there.
Serpentico.
No, it wasn't Serpentico. It was
no, my bad. Fuego del Sol. Alabama's like soul luchador.
Okay, yeah. So
but yeah, Fuego del Sol.
He died on impact of that roundhouse. So I don't know if he can't be okay, because as soon as his neck went back, he hit the ramp, he's done. Like, Malachi Black committed a murder on Dynamite, and nobody said shit. They just let the shit go, and that was that. But what the fuck ever. What the fuck ever.
Straight murder.
Yeah. So yeah, RIP to Fuego del Sol.
Yeah.
Okay.
He started off on BTE with Sammy Guevara when they did like his vlog versus BTE for a second. And then he started competing on Dark and whatnot. And he still competes on Dark and whatnot.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, hopefully they resurrect him and he can go back to wrestling on Dark, and possibly stay away from Malachi Black. So,
You know what? Who did he wrestle?
Go ahead, give him a Fuego Reborn. Throw that card out there. But yeah, so we end up having a defense for the IWGP United States Championship, Lance Archer versus Hikuleo, with Father Haku, King Haku, the baddest man in professional wrestling.
6'10". Jeez.
There it was.
Yeah. This was a pretty much standard big man match. It was really to showcase Hikuleo.
My first time ever seeing him wrestle.
Yeah. I think
same actually.
Yeah, same here too. I think he's gonna do fantastic.
Wait. There was an announcement before this match.
There was. That's what I was gonna get to, but I didn't know if you wanted to tie it in. Where Tony Khan pulled back the forbidden door. Just one more time. Showed off for the first time the century champion of New Japan Pro Wrestling. One Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Absolutely. And
you say, I got next.
Which I love this.
Whoever wins is going to be at his mercy, pretty much.
Because it's a title that he has not won. And he wants it. And did Mox's promo happen after? No, it don't matter.
That
we
was
can
after.
talk about it now anyway.
That was after.
Yeah, we'll talk about it now. Again, Same thing, alluding to the Forbidden Door even more because it's their thing. This is them doing their own, AEW professional wrestling universe. I want to say cinematic, but hey, we're not gonna go there with Marvel. Mox again being fucking Mox, the one of the promo princes of professional wrestling. Came in and said, I sent contracts out, I sent feelers out, been unanswered. It's like, they say COVID can't go to Japan because of COVID and all this other stuff going on. It's
like how he called out all the Olympic athletes. Like, you can send all these Olympians to Japan, but what, you can't send me there?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I sent all these contracts, nothing. I even called out Tanahashi, nothing. The moment I lose the belt, the champion gets to go to Japan.
Walk through that forbidden door. It's like, oh, so it's okay. It's like, now that forbidden door is open, it's like, be careful when you walk through it because the only thing that's going to be waiting for you is a bad time.
So I wonder how they're going to do that match since Archer retained the title. Since Archer has to go to Japan to fight Tanahashi, I wonder how they're going to do that match.
So that's official. So he is going to Japan to defend the title?
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They were saying that the winner goes to Japan to fight Tanahashi.
I was a little sad by that. I would have loved to see Tanahashi come to the States
and
wrestle Archer at All Out or something.
But this does make sense though, because again, since they are, whole Forbidden Door thing, instead of everybody coming to AEW, now they're going to showcase AEW feuds in New Japan because I guarantee you, once they have that match with Lance Archer and Tanahashi, Mox is going to be there.
Absolutely.
And they're going to push that now and even have like Tony Khan and all AEW management ain't playing. Like they gave you little tidbits and seeds here and there, but
give you a little taste.
Yeah, and now they're like, you know what? Hey, we got all our ducks in a row, and now we finna just go for broke. Oh, CM Punk got him. Bryan Danielson got him. Partnership with Impact got it. Partnership with AAA got it. Oh, Nick Khan wants to say that he's talking to New Japan. Nope, we talking to New Japan. Got it. So
got Tanahashi on a promo.
What more do you need?
But Hikuleo showed up. Got it.
Man, maybe we'll get the Gorillas of Destiny on AEW.
Ooh, don't give me hope.
Right? Some good old God from the BC. But from there, two promos. I know we missed one, but I'll talk about it now. Pac was having an interview with and then of course Alex Marvez had asked where Penta and Phoenix were, and he said,
which I forgot to tell y'all, Cornette's nickname for Marvez is Officer Bar Brady.
Wow.
That's messed up.
Why you got to go at Marvez like that? That's messed up.
I haven't listened to Cornette in a while. I think I'm gonna listen to. I haven't listened to Cornette since the Blood and Guts match, but I'm gonna listen to him to see how he feels about this Nick Gage and Chris Jericho match, because he does not like Nick Gage, of course.
Speaking of which, Cornette and Brian Last gave me an idea from when I listened to one of this before, and I think that we may need to do something like that. Probably for like a hot tag or something like that. But we'll get more into that on another time. But yeah. Well, not for you watching. Us three will get into it after this. But for y'all, you'll see it coming.
Stay tuned.
You'll see the fruition.
But yeah, Alex Marvez was interviewing Pac, and Pac was without Phoenix and Penta, and he asked where they were, and he said, "Well, of course you can see that they're not here, and it's because they they missed their car ride was interrupted, so they ended up getting a new driver or whatever. So then you get Chavo coming in, which they technically made up for last week's shit because Chavo came in and he basically stated that maybe you should do better with picking rides for you guys, and maybe you should keep an eye on them better. And then you had good old Andrade fixing up his English promo a little better this time too. And he said maybe you should find a better driver for them, or somebody else may come along and do it for them. Alluding to the fact that maybe he may end up taking Penta and Phoenix away from Pac.
I thought that last week. Honestly, the way it was going last week, I thought Penta and Phoenix was going to betray Pac last week.
It's a weird situation too with how it's going.
To put icing on the cake, he actually said that he got them. Oh no, sorry, Chavo told Pac he got Penta and Phoenix a limo. And then he broke it down. Yeah, then he broke it down for Pac. He's like, "Oh, just so you know, this is a really long car." Like it's got doors, got bars, it's got all that stuff inside.
Did they ever do a follow up to that? Did they ever do a follow up
to what, the limo? Oh no.
Yeah, like showing Phoenix and
No.
Okay, I was making sure I didn't miss nothing.
It could be part of Dark or Elevation, since they do film those matches like post AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, this is interesting because like we don't know where it's going, and I like that. I like not knowing what's going to happen because it leaves room for interpretation, obviously, and it still leaves us with that surprise where it's like, damn, I didn't see it coming and it fucking happened. But I like it because we said whichever way this shit goes, we like it because there's no outcome on here where it's like it's bad for any party. Everything works out perfectly. But
this is definitely good for Andrade. It keeps him busy while like his match with Kenny is coming up.
Which of course you could end up getting this shit by the time that match happens, and you can have Penta and Phoenix on the side of Andrade in AAA.
Ooh, that'd be a good way to reveal them as on his side.
Yeah, and then have Pac like, yo, why were you over there? Like, like what happened? Because I think Penta and Phoenix are like the tag champs at AAA.
And so, Kenny did win that belt from Phoenix.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then defended it against him on Dynamite as well. So, yeah, but to get back on track with the matches before this match that Scoot probably hates, we had an amazing promo from none other than God's favorite champion himself, Miro.
Oh my God. Hey, I thought I felt bad for Dante Martin, Lee Johnson. We might actually see another murder on TV.
We just might. We'll get a nice showcase from Mr. High Flying Lee Johnson. But
Big Shotty. Do y'all know how Lee Johnson became the contender for Mr. Miro?
Yes, I listened to your Jaeger After Dark.
Jaeger After Dark.
Plug.
But
that's a dope way to be a contender.
That was interesting. So like they had the All Elite GM game, and somebody won a tournament for this, and they said, okay, so if Lee Johnson wins this match, and the match composed of Lee Johnson versus the GM tournament's winner choosing an opponent for Lee Johnson. They said if Lee Johnson wins this match, he gets a shot at Miro. And the fucking guy, which they gave a belt to him, by the way. Like a special created like tournament. It had a nice little, it's a custom belt. It looks nice. A little small for the guy, but it is what it is. But yeah, dude picked Luther, and yeah, Lee Johnson had to go up against Luther and take that W.
Interesting you would pick Luther.
That's what I thought too. I didn't know if that was like predetermined and he just was on camera saying it or what.
Yeah. But hey, it is what it is. He got the match. So
yeah, he's gonna regret it.
R.I.P. to Big Shotty.
Yeah, they can sit him next to Fuego del Sol.
Yep.
Right after it. But this whole thing with Miro alluding or throwing little tidbits of CJ.
Oh my God.
His double jointed wife.
His double jointed wife.
And of course it was said before that CJ was the reason for this whole resurgence of Miro with this whole God's favorite champion. Like, she's been helping him with his promos. The more he talks about her, the more I believe that this is shit that he helped him, that she helped him with.
Yes.
Because it's gold. It is gold. And that's the thing about AEW that I'm enjoying recently, is because it's starting to feel more and more like old school NXT because of how they booked everybody. Like, everybody wasn't really on TV all the time, or when they were, they didn't always have to wrestle or be in the ring. The promos did most of the talking, and then when you saw them in the ring, it's like it still felt fresh. Like, it didn't feel like it was like overstaying their welcome. And even now they're doing stuff with Cody to where it's like he's not taking up like 5 to 10 minutes of time on TV. Now he's like, even with the whole Malachi Black thing, it was a quick situation, and then it was over with. So I think that he's like, everybody's starting to understand, where everything should fit and what everybody's getting tired of. And the same thing with Jade Cargill. She hasn't been on TV like every week with those same promos because it was getting stagnant and very stale. For me, it was. So now I'm like,
she's getting promo time on Dark and Elevation.
Perfect.
Apparently her new motif is to get into the film industry.
Okay.
Yeah. She got contacted by some kind of agent from Hollywood who could possibly get her into being some Marvel stuff.
Oh, this is legit shit.
I don't know if it's just a shoot or what, but she did get in touch with, what was his name? The promo that was cut. Oh yeah, that was on. Yeah, they did it was 2 weeks ago. Oh no, sorry, it was last week. They had her talk to, and I'm sorry that this is taking me so long to dig through the book. But they had her talk to John Koenig about being on some film and TV. Said, hey, we know that you're a fan of X-Men, and then she just name drops Storm out of nowhere.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
I don't think that's happening, but I mean, she could end up being an actress / wrestler.
Good for her.
I mean, hey.
Not mad at that at all.
If The Rock and Cena can do it, why the hell not?
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, look, Miro is getting away with murder with everybody. So
yes,
I don't know. I think they're just going to keep pushing this until they get him a challenger, because it's clearly not going to be Lance Archer.
Yeah.
So I don't know any faces right now that's going to pose any kind of threat unless they outsource that shit to another promotion.
Or bring in some new talent.
Or that.
Yeah, I mean, look, they want to bring in Buddy Murphy. Cool.
Oh no, I was thinking like after his little feud with Darby, maybe even CM Punk.
CM Punk is fine too. Personally, I would rather see Chad Gable come in.
Ooh.
And give me some technical masterpiece of a match with
Ty.
I would love to see a strongman match between him and Murphy.
Look, I think Gable only has like maybe 3 more months on his contract.
Damn.
That. So hey, we'll see. But we get Christian Cage and Jurassic Express against HFO.
Meh.
Christian Cage gets the pin. They win. That's it. The highlight of this, because this is why I'm not talking this, I honestly don't care about it either. The triple German suplex was nice, but what really stood out.
Can AEW say Chris Benoit?
I mean, yeah, they can say it. They should be able to.
Just asking. Anyways.
But yeah, the standout in this, and it wasn't even part of the match. It was the Blade, because they've been sticking to this whole thing with him and Cassidy, and this whole brass knucks thing, and the fact that he came out of nowhere and just decked Christian Cage with the brass knucks. I was like, you know what? Now I'm interested, because they're running with something that I didn't care about, but because they've stuck to it and it's becoming a thing, I'm like, you know what? Out of everything Hardy family related, this is what interests me, because they're building Blade up even more, and they did it outside of stuff with the Hardy family office. So I'm cool with this, because that gives him a first matchup with Christian, and that gives Christian something to do while he's staying away from any title within AEW at the moment. So yeah. So if they want to do something with Christian outside of AEW, I would say that they should have him go to Impact and do some stuff over there, since he was a previous or former Impact champion or TNA champion. So, but yeah, that's who goes over. Moving on. Thunder Rosa versus Julia Hart. Congrats to Thunder Rosa being officially, like we said, officially on the AEW roster.
Thunder Rosa, though.
It's so sad that poor Julia Hart looks so innocent.
And she had to just take that beat down.
I mean, she fits the motif for the Varsity Blondes whole aesthetic. But it's definitely hard to watch her in the ring, because of the fact that she just gets that. Yeah, she's like she doesn't belong there. That's no slight against her. It's just the way that her character is. Because I guarantee you that they put her in a different aesthetic, she would probably look completely opposite from what she's portrayed as. So yeah, Thunder Rosa goes over. But when Thunder Rosa did her finisher, it looked like it almost didn't go well for a second. Like it was kind of off.
It did look like she was slipping or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, Thunder Rosa goes over. This really doesn't do anything for her, because Julia Hart wasn't, I guess, in any type of ranking, and Thunder Rosa is already ranked. So this just adds another win. And I don't see her going against Britt Baker anytime soon. Unless now if she wants to go after Serena Deeb, then hey, Serena Deeb doesn't have a title anymore. So shit. Again, I don't see her going against Britt Baker anytime soon. I get they're probably going to save that for the next big show that they have, if anything, or they're going to wait till Britt Baker gets healed up, which may take a couple months, if anything. Because I don't know how bad. I don't know if she fractured or she broke her wrist.
Not sure. All I see is that she's got a pretty nice cast now.
Yeah, so that's where it's a little weird. But yeah, Thunder Rosa goes over.
There we go.
But from there we get our very bloody, very brutal main event. But before I get into that, I will say congrats to Matt Cardona.
Yes.
For winning the GCW championship.
Yes.
And dealing with a lot of BS.
Yes, he did.
That was unnecessary.
But it was. And this is where fans get very passionate, especially indie wrestling fans get very passionate because they become loyal to the person that is actually the face or the foundation of a promotion, and Nick Gage was that. Yeah. So it's understandable, but it's also unacceptable at the same time because you have to give people a chance. Like, you can't expect somebody to be there forever, as much as you would want them to, because at the same time, this makes sense because I do believe that Nick Gage is now currently signed to AEW.
Oh,
I believe. Let me just double check. But I do believe that was one of the.
While you're checking that, did y'all see the pictures of post-match Matt Cardona?
Yeah, because look, he went there in white gear. It was all white with a little bit of purple here and there. And at the end of it, it was completely
red.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm talking about also, and shout out to Chelsea Green here, but there was some doctoring of him in his hotel room, and even his sheets were still bleeding.
Damn.
Like,
yeah. So yeah, no, he's not on the roster. He's not shown on the roster, so I don't think he's signed officially yet. But yeah, Matt Cardona. Yeah, he definitely went through it.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
But somebody who also went through it is Jericho. There's a lot that I did not expect to happen in this match. Primarily, again, added to the list, a spot I would not take. I'd probably take that over the glass spot.
Oh, getting suplexed into the glass, yeah.
Yeah, getting suplexed like I think I would rather take thumbtacks over the glass all day because
agreed.
I've walked in broken glass and I've had glass stuck in my because I've walked in broken glass barefoot and I've had it stuck in my foot and it is uncomfortable.
No.
And attack you can pull out. But this shit and the way that Jericho went and got suplexed into the glass, and for him to as soon as he got up, it's like he bled instantly. So I don't think this was any like Mox and Omega like sugar glass shit. I believe that this was actual like an actual glass panel because and also I mean even side note on that when Jericho took his mask off, I don't know if his eyes were irritated, but they were just like bloodshot red.
They were bloodshot.
So unless he decided to say, you know what, here let me smoke a bowl and let me just take like 100 shots or whatever to prepare my body for this bullshit.
You know what? I would need something to help me prepare / numb whatever the hell's coming my way.
Yeah, because and I like how they started off with the pizza cutter on the arm, like instantly.
First blood.
Yeah, right. It was like okay, so it's like let's let everybody know that this shit is real. It's sharp as fuck. Here we go. But as they progressed through the match, Nick Gage did, he did a few wrestling moves here and there. I mean, it's part of his repertoire, but the main course of this was for it to get bloody, and that's exactly what happened. And they did not waste any time with it.
Nope.
It did feel rushed, but I get why, because I think with TNT, there's only so much you can show within a period of time. So I think that's one of the main reasons why they did that and why they incorporated everything, not like how they did with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker in their unsanctioned match. But yeah, this I was surprised Jericho went through as much as he went through.
Yes.
Same.
This also shows the passion that he has for the business and just the amount of confidence he has for AEW as a promotion to go through all that for that company, because he doesn't have to.
No, not at all.
No.
And to put over Nick Gage at that as well. So, yeah. Again, the glass spot, I can do without. I would need it.
I'll even throw something else in the hat, man. I would not take tubes or light tubes to the forehead. Like,
which one? The slamming or the jabbing?
You know what? Probably the jabbing.
I thought about this. I would take somebody breaking a light tube over, not stabbing me with it. But
exactly. I wouldn't take the stabbing, but if you want to break a light tube over my back, yeah, I'd probably take that.
Kind of like or even like the way Jericho did to win the match, how he broke the stack, and then he hit the Judas effect after. But
yeah,
I think I'd do a light tube spot. I wouldn't do the glass spot, like you said, that was legit glass. So I wouldn't do the glass spot, but I think I'd do the light tube.
Yeah. Shout out to the the Hurricane Rana into the glass. I mean, I like that spot. It was nice because I love the visual.
I don't want to take the pizza cutter spot either.
I would take the pizza cutter spot over the glass. I would take the pizza cutter spot. I wouldn't mind that. It would hurt like fucking hell, especially with the way that he was going across Jericho's forehead.
Yeah.
It was like, yo, bro, like go up a little bit. It felt like he was going in the same spot. Like you're trying to get to his fucking skull. Like I don't need that. Funny enough, Domino's. During all these pizza cutter spots, Domino's ad popped up. I believe, Scoot, you said that they're not too happy about this.
Hold on. They have a statement. They said Domino's Pizza is disavowing any knowledge or involvement in AEW's bloody telecast Wednesday night. So basically, and they are threatening to pull any ads from AEW.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, hey, look, it didn't stop me from wanting to get Domino's. So I mean, at that point,
I could use a thin crust right about now.
Right? Hey, Domino's, they helped you.
Mm-hmm.
They helped you, Domino's. How many times you seen a pizza cutter in wrestling outside of GCW? But yeah, just like you said, Scoot, Jericho goes over with the Judas effect, which they are keeping that move strong.
Yeah.
Which I do like. So it didn't make Nick Gage look any bad. I mean, we all knew that Jericho was going to go over because he's got to go through these labors. But it's very interesting how they're going about this labors of Jericho thing, because again, just like we talked about AEW, we can't guess what the fuck they're going to do. We speculated and we were all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And case in point, to add to that, MJF did his typical thing, comes out at the end, and mad that Jericho got over, but he said, doing callbacks to what they talked about before. Mm-hmm. And it's funny how Jericho had told him to Google Juventud Guerrero, and he's like, I did Google him. And now Jericho has to. I guess he has to win with the top rope move, or you just have to perform a top rope.
If you just hit a move from the top rope, he wins.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought he had to finish with the top rope move.
Okay.
If he just hits an opponent with a top rope move, he wins.
So now we're gonna get Juventud Guerrero on TV, and let me see, because I don't think he's been doing anything.
They said he hadn't wrestled or done anything in like 15 years.
Probably since WWE when he was part of the Mexican.
I'm sorry, y'all all right.
He has to finish with a top rope.
Yeah, he has to finish with a top rope move.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm oh wait, no, he did AAA. But but yeah, so okay. So yeah, he's still been somewhat good. Yeah, Juventud Guerrero was one of my favorite luchadors in WCW. Probably because once he had his mask removed, he looked like Michael Jackson to me a little bit.
Kind of
like a Mexican Michael Jackson. It was always funny to me when I seen him, but again, him, Mysterio, Psychosis, La Parka, all those guys within that the original chairman. But yeah, I don't know. I look forward to this because since I haven't seen Juventud Guerrero in a long time, as far as match wise, I'm hoping that they know what they're doing. Which I mean, I'm pretty sure that they do. But
yeah, at this point,
I'm hoping to see something good or what's the word I'm looking for? I would say impactful in the favor of Juventud. Like give him a good because he's 46 now. So
geez.
Yeah. So hopefully him and Jericho have. I don't want them to have an old band luchador match. I want them to have like an impressive, like veteran, seasoned luchador match. So, and I know Jericho's going to pull something off because they wouldn't do this if he wasn't going to. So, hopefully we get that. But outside of that main event, out of everything that happened on AEW this week, y'all have any final thoughts?
I'll just be honest, man. It wasn't until FTR versus Proud and Powerful that I started kind of I had to get myself back into Dynamite because seeing that the loss from the 10-man tag was just like a little. I was disappointed.
Yeah, it kind of. I'm not gonna lie, it did kind of take me out of it just slightly. It did.
But aside from that, solid night. Aside from the Christian and Jungle and Lucha Express versus the Hardy Family Office.
Yeah.
Like as much as I want to try and care about it, I just don't.
I'm in the same. I mean, well, y'all know how I feel about anything HFO. So.
Yeah. What about your final thoughts, Scoop?
I wish I would have saw the Proud and Powerful versus FTR match. Once again, shouts out to Thunder Rosa for officially being All Elite.
Yep.
Oh, this was her birthday week, by the way.
Oh, well then happy birthday, happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting to see how these next few weeks play out.
Yeah, same.
What about you?
I'll keep it simple. AEW, keep proving me wrong. Because I'll have to keep coming on here every week retracting statements that I've made because you keep being unpredictable and making me look stupid. So I have to come in here and correct myself and then apologize for it. I don't like it, but I like it. So, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Dark Order, keep handling business. Malachi Black, send Cody Rhodes packing for a little bit so he can come back.
Please.
For a resurgence. As a heel, yes. Punk, Danielson, see you soon.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I look forward to getting your tag endorsement as well. We're coming for it.
Yes, sir.
All day.
But other than that, Scoop, let the people know where they can find you.
You know, you saw MJF, you saw FTR. They represent the pinnacle. The problem is they don't represent the Scoutical. Because see, they think they're at top, but they never looked up. See, the problem is when you think you're on the top, you gotta look up every now and then.
Yep.
And if they were to bother to ever look up, I would be down there doing that, waving at them.
Who the fuck is this dude up there?
Yeah, because I reside on the Scoutical. That's where I reside.
But you know what? And while MJF is probably wondering, who the fuck is that? All you gotta do is tell him. You're Googleable.
I'm Googleable.
Oh, Googleable.
I mean, not to toot horns or anything, but when you start to put in the work and the work starts to pay off, Googleable. You know, it's been scrolling at the bottom. There it is right there. Boom. Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, ScooterRay. You know, of course, with the Less Than Stealthy Ninjas. You know, same apps. Catch us on Anchor, catch us on Spotify, catch us on Google Podcasts and other places podcasts play. Googleable. Shouts out to Boss Ryan Zert. We're Googleable out here in these streets.
Absolutely.
But to bring it to the ladies.
To the
ladies, you know. Where can they find you, Mr. Yeager, especially if they want to, you know, give you that final slice?
Yo. If I'm ever getting a final slice, it's got to be from the one and only Red Velvet. Who just makes that move look so good. Almost tasty, if I can say.
Oh.
But aside from here on this couch with that dog over there, you can find me, Jaeger Bombastic. So fantastic. Oh, it's right there on the crawler.
There it is.
Right.
Bam.
Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Xbox, PlayStation. It's all under the same name. Boom, boom. And whenever you do,
stop shop.
And then whenever you do feel like gaming, and then you do end up losing, and then you're getting yourself in your feelings, finding out just, you know, how do you bounce back from these L's? You need you a little pick me up.
There has to be somebody we know who does
just somebody. Oh
yeah,
it's that guy right there.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, this guy.
Oh yeah.
You're right. I do have this little bitty podcast called Lifestyle One Up. Get your daily dose Monday through Friday in the morning time, you know, to get your day started. Just like some percolating coffee.
Oh, I love me some coffee in the morning.
Right? On all your podcast listening platforms. If you need help finding it, just like Scoot said, that shit is also Googleable. But if you want to shoot the shit, if you want to try to come back and forth with me and say how much I should care about X wrestler here, X promotion there, X title here, hit me up. Lip Dizzle, IGs, your Twitters, your Twitches, your TikToks, your YouTubes, all that good shit. I am open for all types of communication. Bring it. Like Samoa Joe says, provoke me. But with all that out the way,
Sorry. Cross branding.
I mean, he started it.
Whoa. You know what? That's fine. You know what else I'll start? I'll start a too sweet to my bros.
You know, I'm always down for that one.
And I'll also give all the beautiful people out there bidding them adieu, letting them know that until next time, when you see these handsome faces, hear these caramel-like voices. Until next time.
In your ear.
Money in your ear. Until next time. Yeah, I know. Honey equals money. But until next time, tag the fuck it